course, Senator Booker for championing this. I hope he reads your book. One of the things that is really important, I grew up in the most beautiful blackest city in the country, the city of Detroit, and every corner is a reminder of black history. And I just cannot imagine not being able to experience these legendary, moments that have changed our country for the better. And, I watch my colleagues over and over again quote these folks in our history. I mean, it's our history over and over again. But they sit by idly allowing someone to say, we're going to go ahead and erase our black neighbors within our history. In Detroit, we say, tell the truth, always. We say, what do we say? The truth will set us free, all the time. And it is going to set us free continually if we continue to, again, make sure we elevate and speak that truth. Across the country, we see the radical right-wing politicians like a person in Florida attempting to whitewash American history and ban African American history from being taught in our classrooms. You can call it dumb, you can call it racist, you can call it whatever, but it is un-American. This is really, truly unmasking white supremacy at its core. You cannot teach the truth about American history, y'all, without African American history. The kind of censorship and book banning should be alarming to all of us, especially as we fight for more inclusive, multiracial democracy that includes all of us, all our voices, that we're truly seen and heard at all levels of government. The truth must also be taught and should inspire us all to continue to march for freedom, equity, and justice for all in the spirit of civil rights leaders who came before us. Our children must learn the role of systematic racism in our country and our history and how it continues to impact our communities right now. It is critical that we speak truth, because we cannot speak that truth and understand what we need to do in these chambers without understanding enslavement, segregation, redlining in our communities that continues to happen. We cannot make meaningful change that uplifts our whole country if we don't understand that history and are not taught that history. So we will not allow, I know I won't, allow to erase black history or my black neighbors, the powerful legacy of many of my neighbors and the civil rights warriors that came before us. We cannot learn from our past if our past is no longer being taught in our education systems. So I just really applaud my colleagues to continue doing this, but I want folks that are listening to this, don't just rely on us. I've learned over and over again the way to really push back against this type of hate and othering that folks again are using because they got nothing else to talk about. They got nothing else to actually, things that are constructive to do, but to increase fear and hate. Is this transformative change happens in the streets when we demand it. So folks in Florida, rise up. Don't sit back and say this is not something I agree with. Do something about it. Speak up. I think, again, sometimes people like us may not be heard and seen the same way that you may be seen and heard when you speak up. This is not the time to sit idly by silent while your governor continues to spew hate. And this is truly what it is. And you say, let us erase a whole people within our history books. With that, I thank you again so much.